Chapter 1081 Blood Transformation Heavenly Art, Longevity with Heaven and Earth Debt Repayment +2. Ancestor. Greetings, Ancestor Red Lotus. He Pingxing and Lu Xiaozi both breathed a sigh of relief when they saw the Red Lotus Ancestor arrive. If it weren't for the Red Lotus Ancestor, He Pingxing would still be thinking about how to protect himself. Honglian nodded to the two of them and said, "You're both good, you're both excellent." A gust of wind blew, and the crimson robes of the Red Lotus Ancestor rustled like a colorful cloud. She turned her head, her black hair flying wildly, and looked in the direction of Dugu Baiyun. "Senior brother, it's been so many years, how come you've gotten worse and worse? You have the cultivation of a peak celestial immortal, and you're already halfway to the profound immortal realm, yet you still do this kind of thing, ambushing and killing juniors." HMPH. Dugu Baiyun sneered from afar. "You junior are quite something, killing 3 heavenly immortals of my Baiyun immortal sect in one fell swoop." "Oh." The Red Lotus Ancestor looked at Lu Xiaozi with some surprise. Lu Xiaozi shook her head. "It wasn't me, it was junior brother He." The Red Lotus Ancestor's gaze fell on He Pingxing again. He Pingxing held a sword in one hand, still pressing it against Kai Zhongyue's neck. Honglian laughed and said, "Don't bother, she can't escape. You've got some skills, kid." He Pingxing sheathed the sword, cupped his hands, and said, "It's not due to my skill. When I was in Chengkuan Immortal City, I met the Deputy City Lord of Chenyan. He took great care of me and bestowed this precious sword upon me. It's a pity that this sword can only be used 3 times. Now that another celestial immortal has arrived, I absolutely cannot kill him." "That's your skill too." Honglian turned her head and continued to stare at Dugu Baiyun. "Before our master passed away, he instructed us 3, brother and sister, to live in harmony and support each other. For so many years, that scoundrel Kunwu has been bullying my little sister, and you've always just stood by and watched. I say everyone has their own ambitions, and you have your own considerations, so I would never dare to trouble you in the slightest. I have never held a grudge against you. Logically speaking, my Red Lotus Immortal Valley and your White Cloud Immortal Sect have no enmity, so why would you do such a thing today?" Dugu Baiyun's face was sinister. "Master has become senile, he's an old bastard. He split a grand gate into 3, what kind of logic is that? I'm the senior brother, all of this should be mine. The 3 sects were originally 1. Junior sister, don't you find your own words ridiculous?" "Is that so?" Honglian smiled. "Now, you're the one who's laughable, having lost 3 celestial beings for nothing." "So what?" Dugu Baiyun said, "My Baiyun Immortal Sect still has 6 celestial immortals. Even if 3 of them die, we are still stronger than your Red Lotus Immortal Valley. Junior sister, just you wait. The day I step into the profound immortal realm will be the day the 3 sects unite as one. But today, I'm taking all 3 of these disciples with me." Swish. A long sword was drawn by Dugu Baiyun. The sword was aimed directly at He Pingxing and Lu Xiaozi. The Crimson Lotus Ancestor shook his head. "Impossible. Senior brother, I advise you to back down. Don't let it escalate to a point of mutual destruction."
Fisidi, Netbriaks.
Dugu Baiyun laughed. "You think you're worthy of talking to me about fish die, net breaks? Don't worry, the fish may die, but the net won't break. Now, hand Lu Xiaozi over to me. Or, I can take them both away after I defeat you. You choose." The Crimson Lotus Ancestor didn't answer at all, but instead looked at Dugu Baiyun with a cold smile. "Choose. Senior brother is so heartless. But today, I will neither be defeated by you nor hand you over." The Red Lotus Ancestor's tone was as firm as iron. Her sharp gaze was fixed on Dugu Baiyun, and the aura within the surrounding world suddenly shifted. Then, the Ancestor's fair skin slowly began to turn blood red. Raw. At one moment, her entire body turned crimson red, except for her eyes, which remained as black as ink. The wind was still blowing in the sky, but the atmosphere within a radius of 10,000 feet around them had become violent. Blood transformation heavenly technique. Dugu Baiyun was shocked upon seeing this, That old man really did pass this technique on to you. Junior sister. What is the purpose of our pursuit of Taoism and cultivation? It is for the sake of achieving immortality through the great Tao, for the sake of reaching the golden immortal realm, and for eternal life. Why are you so desperate? Everything is negotiable. Just quickly withdraw your supernatural powers. Clad in a bright red robe and with disheveled hair, the Red Lotus ancestor laughed heartily. Have you withdrawn your supernatural powers? Once the heaven and earth live together technique is used, there is absolutely no way to take it back. Cut! The woman shouted, and a strange force of rules flew out of her mouth, slashing at her left arm with a soft thud. The left arm flew into the void and then exploded with a bang. Countless drops of blood converged and condensed into the power of blood and qi, which she then swallowed. At this moment, the body of the Crimson Lotus ancestor looked extremely strange. Her aura grew stronger and stronger. Live as long as heaven and earth. Rumble's black eyes stared at Dugu Bayun. Senior brother, at this moment, I don't care what your cultivation level is. As long as you haven't broken through to the golden immortal realm, if you want to kill me, the price will be mutual destruction. Now, do you still want to try? Sigh. Dugu Bayun sighed deeply and said, Junior sister, why do you have to live for 1,000 years? Have you forgotten your original intention in learning Taoism and cultivating immortality? Master is really something. Why did he have to pass on this harmful thing to you? So be it. I admit defeat this time. After saying that, Dugu Bayun waved his hand and collected the storage rings of the two celestial immortals who had been killed by He Pingxing. Then he flew into the void and transformed into a rainbow of light to leave. The red color and eerie aura on the Crimson Lotus ancestor gradually disappeared, and he returned to his original appearance. However, her left arm did not grow back. Ancestor! Ancestor! The two looked at Honglian, unsure of what to say. The Crimson Lotus ancestor smiled and said, It's all right. You little brats have really given me a lot of trouble. I already know what happened in Chengkuan Immortal City. If it weren't for this old ancestor patrolling around the sect to help you, you might have been captured by that old bastard Dugu by now. Lu Xiaoxi asked with a worried look, Ancestor, did your attack just now cost you 1,000 years of lifespan? The smile on the face of the Crimson Lotus ancestor gradually faded. She sighed deeply and shook her head. No. Yes. Once the blood transformation heavenly art is unleashed, the fate is to live as long as heaven and earth. I will take my opponent down with me. If my opponent leaves, I won't die, but I'll only have 1,000 years left to live. Ah? He Pingxing and Lu Xiaoxi both froze in shock. I originally thought it would take 1,000 years of lifespan, but it turns out I only have 1,000 years left to live. Ancestor, I. Lu Xiaoxi's tears welled up in her eyes. The old ancestor smiled and said, No need to be sad, this is my fate. I will protect what my master gave me, even if it means my death. Originally, I planned to use it when Kunwu Mountain attacked our Red Lotus Immortal Valley. I didn't expect it to be earlier than planned. It doesn't matter. A day earlier or a day later, it's just 100 years earlier. I'll return 2 chapters today, and the rest I'll return once I have a backlog of chapters. I'll definitely finish returning them this month. Chapter 1082 Interrogation, Seclusion Bang. The Crimson Lotus ancestor launched a flying boat. This flying boat is far more advanced than He Pingxing's flying boat. It is not only larger but also extremely fast. The patriarch himself stood at the bow of the ship, steering the large vessel towards the sect. Tell me, what exactly happened? Honglian asked, glancing at Kai Zhongyue, who was pale-faced, as she piloted the flying boat. Kai Zhongyue lowered her head, then suddenly knelt on the ground, sobbing uncontrollably. I'm sorry, ancestor. I'm sorry, junior brother He. I'm sorry, senior sister Lu. It's all my fault. I am willing to accept any punishment, without any regrets. The Crimson Lotus ancestor said, You were born in the Crimson Lotus Immortal Valley, a native child. I don't believe you could do something so earth-shattering all by yourself. You don't need to take on anything for others.
No.
Xianxia said, it's all my fault. It was I who tipped off the White Cloud Immortal sect, which allowed them to intercept and kill our ship. This time, it was I who leaked the route information. And the fact that junior brother his sword can only be used 3 times was also something I leaked. Xianxia was already crying her eyes out. He Pingxing and Lu Xiaozi stood to the side, expressionless.
Sigh.
Ancestor Red Lotus sighed deeply and said, Weaver Girl has been captured by us.
Bang.
Upon hearing this news, Xianxia could no longer contain herself and plopped down on the deck, speechless with shock. She's your master, so it's not wrong for you to obey her every word. Honglian said, I don't blame you, but you are the one who did it. Once you return to Red Lotus Immortal Valley, you may go to the bottom of the Tower of Repentance to reflect on your mistakes. Come out after I'm dead. If I don't die, you'll never come out again. After saying that, Honglian waved her sleeve. The moon in the pond, like a soulless walking corpse, stood up and walked to the rear cabin. For a moment, He Pingxing and Lu Xiaozi were at a loss for words. You're very good. Honglian looked at Lu Xiaozi. I'm very pleased that you were able to leave your name on the list in the solid Dao Steely Square. If you were given more time, you would surely become a treasure in the future. What a pity, what a pity, time is running out. I hope you can grow up quickly. You too. In the end, Honglian gave He Pingxing 3 more words. 2 days later, the enormous flying ship landed in the Red Lotus Immortal Valley. After bidding farewell to Lu Xiaozi and the Red Lotus ancestor, He Pingxing returned to Xianxia Garden. Junior brother, you're still alive. You're back. That's great. As soon as they landed at Xianxia Garden, Su Huang, Su Muyu, and Xu Zhishan surrounded them. Especially Xu Zhishan, whose face was almost touching He Pingxing's. Junior brother, you're really lucky to be alive. We've all heard that the immortal ship was intercepted at Kunwu Mountain, and many disciples have died. He Pingxing shook his head. It's not Kunwu Mountain, it's Baiyun Immortal Sect. Where is Master? I want to see my master and pay my respects to him. That's the rule. Upon returning from my trip, I must go see my master immediately. Don't go. Su Huang said, after he heard that your ship had been intercepted, he went to Kunwu Mountain alone with only a sword, to fight one-on-one. He killed several Earth Immortals at Kunwu Mountain, and if it weren't for the Red Lotus ancestors' timely intervention to save him, he would probably have perished there. Heh. He Pingxing was also surprised. No. Master is such a grown man, how could he do such a thing? Su Muyu rolled her eyes at He Pingxing and said, it's all because of you. He thought you'd been killed, otherwise he wouldn't be so agitated. He Pingxing touched his forehead. Xu Zhishan sneered. Tech. Impossible. I think it's more likely that she called Chuanyang, no, Xinjiang, to provoke her. All right, let's not talk about this anymore. Hey, junior brother, you've been in Chengquan Immortal City for 3 years now. What have you seen and heard? Tell us about it. Also, did you bring us anything delicious or fun? The 3 of them looked at He Pingxing with expectant expressions. He Pingxing said, yes, that's a must. How could I forget my 3 senior brothers and sisters? As he spoke, he took out 3 pill bottles from his ring, handed one to each person, and said, take a look at what's inside these. The 3 of them opened it. Holy crap. Xu Zhishan jumped up. It's actually a celestial elixir. Top grade. Holy crap. Junior brother, do you usually eat this good? How could that be? Su Muyu said, it must have been junior brother who specially bought it for us in Chengquan Immortal City, right, junior brother? He Pingxing touched his nose somewhat guiltily and said, that's right, but don't be silly and use this thing while you're cultivating. When it comes time to fight again, I'll swallow one more, and within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, my depleted dantian will be fully replenished. Immortal elixir is used for cultivation, but top-grade immortal elixir can also quickly replenish the dantian, only slower than the heavenly elixir. But it can still be very useful in critical moments. We know, we know, we know. Overjoyed, the three of them put away the pills one by one. He Pingxing then gave the three of them a general account of what he had seen and heard in Chenkuan Immortal City. Holy crap! No way! Xu Zhishan was shocked. Lu Xiaozi is actually that amazing? She's ranked 92nd. However, I never expected Kunwu Mountain to produce a champion. We're doomed, we're doomed. We definitely can't beat Kunwu Mountain anymore. I think we should find another team as soon as possible. All three of them were somewhat flustered. He Pingxing smiled and said, "Don't worry, as far as I know, this so-called Fairy Tsayu is not an immortal from Kunwu Mountain. She just randomly assigned her name to Kunwu Mountain to hide her identity." All right, I'm not going to say any more to you. I'm going into seclusion. Strive to cultivate and improve your cultivation level. He Pingxing stood up and left. Su Muyu said, "I'll see my junior brother off." Su Muyu followed him directly to the entrance of the dojo. Seeing that Xu Zhishan and Su Huang hadn't followed, she raised her fair face and asked seriously, "He Pingxing, I'm asking you, you didn't go to that Fengshui pavilion, did you?" Heh. He Pingxing didn't expect Su Muyu to ask such a question. No. He gave a wry smile. "Senior sister Lu and I are together day and night. There's no way I'd have time to go to Fengshui pavilion. Senior sister, please don't overthink it." What? Su Muyu's expression turned even more serious, and even her voice changed. You've hooked up with Lu Xiaozi. Puff. He Pingxing almost vomited blood. Senior sister, don't talk nonsense. She's a proud daughter of heaven. How could she possibly be interested in me? I'm going into seclusion now. Goodbye. Chapter 1083 8th level of Human Immortal. Enter your own main hall. The first thing He Pingxing had to do was to check the formation. During the more than 3 years he was away, he didn't know if anyone had tampered with the formations of his dojo. Better safe than sorry. It took several days to thoroughly inspect all the layers of formations surrounding the main hall. No problem. Since there are no problems, let's go into seclusion. He Pingxing sat cross-legged on the futon, then waved his hand and took out a ring. 2 days ago, he was intercepted by 4 celestial beings, including Dugu Baiyun, and 3 of them were killed by He Pingxing with his sword. 2 of the 3 people's storage rings were taken by Dugu Baiyun when he left, and He Pingxing only got 1. Now, it's time to see what good stuff is inside this ring. With a gentle wipe, He Pingxing removed a trace of divine imprint from the ring and saw what was inside. There is indeed a lot of wealth inside, with millions of immortal crystals alone. Besides the immortal crystals, there were also several immortal artifacts. Most of them were of the 1st or 2nd rank, but there were also some of the 3rd rank, such as an imperial seal. This thing looks like a defensive immortal artifact, but because its level is too high, He Pingxing is unable to enhance it at the moment. As for the other 2nd-grade items, he put them into the treasure basin, preparing to strengthen them. In addition, there were some jade slips, immortal fruits, immortal herbs, etc., which He Pingxing basically didn't need. Therefore, this ring was extremely useless to him. Never mind. Forget about the ring for now, let's focus on improving our cultivation level. This seclusion is very simple, with only one purpose, to improve my cultivation level. After putting away the ring, He Pingxing took out several other items and placed them in front of him. The essence blood of a 2nd-grade, 2-headed eagle. 2 bones. The corpses of 3 celestial beings, along with a small amount of their essence and blood. The highest grade of the immortal elixir. There was also a jade slip, the true secret of tranquilizing the mind in the mysterious sect. This Xianmen Tranquility True Technique is a spirit-refining cultivation method that was strengthened in the spirit realm when I was in the mortal realm. It consists of 2 parts, Qi Refining Chapter and Immortal Ascension Chapter. In the last chapter, He Pingxing did not engage in cultivation. Because he has been searching for a higher level of spirit refining technique, and since he hasn't found one yet, this one is still worth practicing for a while. Bring it on. Take the essence blood of the already enhanced two-headed eagle and put it into the blood pool condensed with immortal energy. This golden blood was actually boiling non-stop. He Pingxing looked at the pool of blood and took a deep breath. This is second-grade essence blood. I'm only at the immortal stage. Previously, when cultivating the Chaos Golden Scripture, I used only first-grade essence blood. I wonder if I can withstand the essence blood of a second-grade being? Give it a try. He Pingxing did not immediately dive into the blood pool, but instead took a wisp of golden blood from it and wrapped it around himself. Buzzing. The next moment, the 36 immortal talismans within his body appeared and began to be absorbed frantically. With each level higher, the blood essence and energy contained within it increased exponentially, sometimes by more than tenfold. Even a tiny bit of it allowed He Pingxing's Chaos Golden Scripture to make significant progress. After trying it out and not feeling much pain, He Pingxing suddenly thrashed into the pool of blood. Arth. I thought everything would be fine, but after jumping in, the painful tearing sensation came like a shadow. He Pingxing screamed in pain. If it weren't for the Chaos Golden Scripture absorbing energy on its own, He Pingxing was certain he would never have been able to practice in such agony. Fortunately, this pain did not last long. The 36 runes around He Pingxing's body naturally created a defensive barrier, preventing the essence blood from directly contacting He Pingxing's body, but they could still frantically absorb the energy from the surrounding essence blood. After being tamed, streams of violent heat flowed into He Pingxing's body. Time, too, flows slowly. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. In just 3 years, He Pingxing's cultivation level broke through again, and the Chaos Golden Scripture broke through from the 5th level of the human immortal stage to the 6th level. This breakthrough happened very quickly. On the one hand, it's because He Pingxing was already quite close to the 6th floor. Secondly, naturally, the level of the items used has been upgraded, thus improving the effectiveness and efficiency. The difference between second-grade and first-grade essence blood is like night and day. He Pingxing did not stop, but continued to absorb the nutrients. 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. While the Chaos Golden Scripture was refining the power of qi and blood on its own, He Pingxing was also simultaneously absorbing the Immortal Spirit Pill to improve his Dantian cultivation. The third is simultaneous spiritual cultivation, the final chapter of the profound Taoist method of calming the mind. Time flows by slowly. 88 years have passed in the blink of an eye. He Pingxing raised all 5 of his Dantian cultivation levels to the 4th level. After consuming all the essence blood of the two-headed eagle and the 2 golden witch bones, the cultivation level of the Chaos Golden Scripture was raised to the 8th level. From the outside, He Pingxing's cultivation level at this moment appears to be at the 8th level of the human immortal realm. As for divine sense, he had also completely refined the final layer of the Xianmen Tranquility True technique. Unfortunately, He Pingxing's divine sense only improved by 30%, without any qualitative improvement. It's pretty useless. It seems that although the rules for refining spirits have not changed in the celestial realm and the lower realm, the quality is still vastly different. He Pingxing let out a deep breath. My dear reader, there's more to, even more exciting content awaits. After leaving the temple, He Pingxing went to his master's place first, but found that his master, Su Nian, was still in seclusion, so he did not disturb him. Others, including Su Huang, Su Muyu, and Xu Zhishan, are also in seclusion. He Pingxing transformed into a streak of light and flew into the sky, leaving Qianxia Garden and heading towards the Ministry of Internal Affairs. First, he collected his offerings and points accumulated over the years, and then he flew to Wuberoyuan. Hello. In the array hall of Wuberoyuan, He Pingxing respectfully addressed the shopkeeper. Uncle Master, I am He Pingxing, a disciple of Qianzeyuan. This is my master Su Nian's life tablet. I would like to purchase some second-grade array materials. Second-grade array materials. The newly arrived elder smiled and asked, is it for you, or for your master? Previously, the elder in this array hall was called Weaver Girl. He Pingxing didn't know why she was called Weaver Girl now, but the elder here had definitely been changed. He Pingxing said, it's my master who needs it. Good. Come with me. The man led He Pingxing to the 2nd floor, where He Pingxing picked and chose a set of array materials. Back then, He Pingxing killed 2 prodigies from Kunwu Mountain at Jieqian Ridge. Those 2 were capturing 10 Jiachen ginseng at the time. Later, He Pingxing obtained the array for capturing immortal ginseng from them, and strengthened the array diagram, intending to personally go to Jieqian Ridge to capture the 10 Jiachen ginseng. After all, they already have the heavenly fragrance pill. Before going, we still need to set up the formation first. In addition, He Pingxing was going to Jishanling to see if he could capture 1 or 2 second-grade demonic beasts. After using second-grade essence blood to refine the body, there's no going back. Once people have eaten refined grains, who would still eat coarse food? Chapter 1084 Sect Grand Competition. May I ask, Elder, if we follow the sexagenary cycle for the year, what year is this? After purchasing the second-grade array materials, He Pingxing asked another question. The old man stretched out his fingers and calculated for a moment, then said, "We immortals don't usually use this kind of calendar, but if we're going to calculate it, this year should be considered the Jiazi year."
Oh.
He Pingxing nodded. "Thank you, Uncle Master." After saying that, he left the 5 treasures garden.
The year of the rat.
Those 10 Jiachen ginsengs will only emerge from the ground every 60 years in the Jiachen year. This thing would never have appeared if it weren't for the Jiachen year. This year is the Jiazi year, and there are still 40 years until the Jiachen year.
How long is that?
But never mind. Let's study and familiarize ourselves with the formation first. Once everything is ready, capturing the 10 Jiachen ginseng won't be a problem. Upon returning to his monastery, He Pingxing continued his seclusion. However, this time in seclusion, I can only study formations. Before we knew it, another 3 years had passed. After 3 years of research, He Pingxing was finally able to set up the 1,000 demon heavenly fragrance array to lure the 10 Jiachen ginseng. Theoretically, it is possible to set it up, but it will take several months to actually do so. Just then, Su Muyu's voice came from outside the main hall. "Junior brother, are you in seclusion? Get out of the pass immediately, something terrible has happened." Hearing this, He Pingxing was startled and quickly walked out of the temple. "Senior sister, what's the matter?" He Pingxing asked Su Muyu. Su Muyu said, "Don't ask any questions yet, come with me. I'll take you to see your master first." The 2 rushed to Su Nyan's dojo. Su Nyan also emerged from seclusion, along with her 2 senior brothers, Su Huang and Xu Zhishan. "All right, you're all here." Su Nyan looked at her 4 disciples and nodded, saying, "Sit down, everyone. I have 2 things to tell you. First thing, the sect competition will be held in 6 months. I think your cultivation levels are all decent, so I've registered you all. Everyone should participate." Wait a minute. Before she could finish her sentence, Su Nyan's gaze fell on He Pingxing, and he frowned slightly. "This. 4th brother, can you take off that tattered mask on your face? Let me see your cultivation level." He Pingxing usually wears that bronze mask on his face. Although his appearance remains unchanged, his cultivation level is hidden. The cultivation level he currently displays in public is only at the 3rd level of the human immortal realm. Even Su Nyan couldn't see through it. He Pingxing chuckled and said, "All right. This disciple will obey master's orders." After saying that, He Pingxing peeled off the bronze mask from his face. The next moment, his aura burst forth. The 4 of them simultaneously scanned the area with their divine senses. "Holy shit!" Su Nyan exclaimed in surprise. "Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit." Xu Zhishan was even more exaggerated. He was closest to He Pingxing, and he even exaggeratedly swung his obese body a couple of times before collapsing onto the futon next to him with a thud. "You son of a bitch!" Hiss hiss hiss. Su Muyu gasped, "Junior brother, you've caught up with me. 8th floor. How exactly did you fix it?" Back when He Pingxing was just a newly ascended human immortal disciple, Su Muyu already had a cultivation level of 7. Now she's on the 8th floor, and He Pingxing is on the 8th floor too. This speed truly astonished Su Muyu.
Who?
Sun Yan took a deep breath and said, "You kid, did you eat an earth immortal? Otherwise, how could his cultivation level have increased so quickly?" He Pingxing said, "Reporting to Master, my cultivation level only appears high. In reality, my Dantian has only reached the 4th level of the human immortal stage. This 8th level of human immortal stage cultivation was achieved through body refining techniques, which is why it progressed so quickly."
Heh.
Sun Yan's mouth dropped open in surprise. "You can also refine your body?"
Yes.
He Pingxing nodded. "All right." Sun Yan didn't ask any further questions, but simply said, "No matter what, your cultivation level is now a genuine 8th level human immortal. With that, participating in the sect competition will be even less of a problem. All right, let's not talk about your cultivation level for now. Let me tell you about this competition first. The sect competition is held irregularly. In principle, each garden has 10 slots. Our Xianxia Academy only has 4 disciples, so this time I've read out all 4 of your names. Everyone, strive to be the best. Show some competitive spirit, or you'll be eliminated right from the start. This sect competition is of extraordinary significance. If you can get into the top 10 of your sect, you can enter Qianquan Immortal City and participate in the competition for the entire Qianquan City. If you get into the top 10 in Qianquan City, you can enter Star Emperor City and participate in the sword trial competition on U Emperor Star. If you can win the sword trial competition at the human immortal stage, you can make a wish to the Star Emperor, and under normal circumstances, this wish will be granted." He Pingxing understood. When he asked Ancestor Honglian for the divine refining technique last time, Honglian had mentioned that the Star Emperor had granted his wish. For He Pingxing, obtaining the refining spirit technique was one possible path. It's just that this path is more difficult. This is almost enough to defeat all the immortal stage disciples on the entire Yuhuang star. Moreover, it will eventually expose one's combat capabilities, placing oneself under the scrutiny of everyone.
Oh, right.
Sun Yan suddenly seemed to remember something and looked at He Pingxing, saying, "Ancestor Honglian just told me that if you participate in the competition, you must not use the sword intent you have comprehended when you go on stage."
Did you remember?
He Pingxing cupped his hands and said, "Yes, Master."
All right.
Sun Yan said, "There are also generous rewards for this competition. The specific competition rules, competition time, lottery method, and final rewards are all in this jade slip. Go back and read it carefully, and then you can prepare on your own. Now, I'll talk about the second thing." Sun Yan stood up from his prayer mat, stepped forward to the 4 disciples, and said, "When 4th brother got into trouble last time, I was so anxious. I wished I could wipe out the entire Kunwu Mountain sect right then and there. I thought that kid had been killed. And then you damn well showed up again, all alive and kicking, almost killing me. So I've decided to make a destiny card for each of you 4. That way, if one day you perish while you're out, I'll know immediately and won't panic like last time. Come on over, 1 for each of you." Sun Yan took out 4 jade tokens and distributed 1 to each person. He Pingxing had seen this kind of life tablet before. Back in the lower realm, his master Yu Ning of the Taishu sect had made one for him. This thing could display the life or death status of the person whose life was being held. Under normal circumstances, a single drop of semen is sufficient to complete the process. Chapter 1085 Lu Xiaozi, Earth Immortal, 4th grade relic. Making a life tablet is very simple. It only takes a few breaths to complete. After they were made, the 4 life-bound nameplates were placed in Sun Yan's dojo. "All right, you can all go do what you were doing." Sun Yan flicked her sleeve. "He Pingxing, stay here. I'll take you to see the Grandmaster."
Okay.
He Pingxing obediently stayed where he was. After the other senior brothers and sisters left, Master Sun Yensai said, "You're quite a talent, kid. No matter what, it's something to be happy about to break through to the 8th level in such a short time. Come with me, let's go to your ancestor's place and try to get some benefits." Let's go, let's go." Sun Yan took He Pingxing's hand and flew into the sky in a flash. They then flew over 7 or 8 mountains of all sizes in the sect and finally arrived at the last peak. On that peak, there was only one large black hall. To the left and right of the main hall, there is a side hall on each side. Just as He Pingxing and Sun Yan landed at the entrance of the main hall, a powerful energy fluctuation rippled out from the black hall in front of them. In an instant, more than a dozen arrays were activated around the main hall. A series of light films, shimmering with various colors, rose up in succession. With a wave of her hand, Sun Yan conjured a powerful energy shield that stood in front of the two of them. Even so, the powerful ripple pushed the two of them several feet apart. Holy crap! Sun Yan exclaimed, so powerful. This seems to be the energy fluctuations when breaking through to the Earth Immortal realm. This is really strange. When did someone in the sect break through? Who is this? Before the master and disciple could even get close to the side hall, a figure in a bright red robe blocked their way. Red Lotus Ancestor. The Red Lotus Ancestor is still missing an arm. Greetings, Master. Upon seeing her master, Sun Yan quickly bowed. He Pingxing also said, Greetings, Ancestor. What ancestor? Sun Yan asked, displeased. Call me Ancestor, or Grandmaster, it's fine. This is my master, your Grandmaster. Oh. He Pingxing quickly corrected himself. Disciple He Pingxing greets Grandmaster. All right. Honglian said, you two, stop trying to make me happy with your back and forth. What's the matter? Sun Yan's face immediately lit up with a smile, and she said, Master, you don't even like your disciple anymore, and you won't let me into the main hall. Stop talking nonsense. Honglian said, Lu Xiaozi has broken through to the Earth Immortal realm and is currently consolidating her cultivation in my Daoist temple. It's not a good time for you to go in. Sun Yan and He Pingxing both showed expressions of astonishment almost simultaneously. No way. Lu Xiaozi? He Pingxing felt that he was abnormal enough. After returning, in about 90 years, he cultivated from the 5th level to the 8th level, directly breaking through 3 minor levels. Lu Xiaozi actually broke through from the 9th level all the way to the 10th, 11th, and 12th levels, and finally became an Earth Immortal. 4 floors? The key issue is that there's a bottleneck within these 4 layers, a major tier. Is this even possible? Although the ancestor must have given Senior Sister Lu some unparalleled treasures, Senior Sister Lu's talent is absolutely extraordinary. Come with me. The Crimson Lotus ancestor led the two into the side hall. Master. Upon entering the side hall, Sun Yan quickly approached and asked, What happened to Lu Xiaozi? Honglian said, After returning from Chengkuan Immortal City last time, I took her under my wing. Now she is your junior sister. Lu Xiaozi is indeed remarkable. In less than 100 years, she has reached the Earth Immortal level. I am very pleased. It's just a pity, that time is running out. By the way, what do you want to see me about? Honglian asked Sun Yan. Sun Yan nudged He Pingxing and said, This kid, hurry up and take off that damn mask so the ancestor can see it. Oh. He Pingxing took off the mask again. His cultivation level was revealed. This. Ancestor Honglian looked at He Pingxing in shock and said, You brat, you've actually reached the 8th level. Her mouth dropped open, and for a moment she was at a loss for words, unable to describe the shock that the scene before her brought her. Hehehe. Sun Yan laughed smugly. Master, my disciple is all right, but is taking a slightly different path. Lu Xiaozi cultivates, while my disciple follows the path of body cultivation. Who? Honglian took a deep breath and said, What a prodigy. It's truly wonderful that our Honglian Immortal Valley can produce such a pair of gems as you two. Given time, the sect is sure to prosper. What a pity, there's not much time left. Only 900 years left. He Pingxing, you've really surprised me. An indescribable joy was evident in the eyes of the Crimson Lotus ancestor. Lu Xiaozi made rapid progress because she had guidance and personal instruction from her. The reason she was able to break through to the 4th level was because Xianxia immediately broke through to the 10th level after returning to the sect. After reaching the 10th level, she put a lot of effort into cultivating it. He broke through the bottleneck by devouring rare and precious materials, and then broke through to the Earth Immortal stage by devouring a 2nd stage golden core. These 2 layers don't require any time. So even though Xianxia broke through 4 layers, in reality, without the help of external objects, she would have only broken through 1 or 2 layers. He Pingxing broke through 3 levels while in seclusion? Master, Sun Yan said, to be honest, since He Pingxing became my disciple, I haven't had anything good to give him, and I don't have any resources for body refinement. I came here today to ask Master if you have any resources for body tempering, so I can give him some. For the next 1,000 years, the Heavenly Law Garden, where this disciple resides, will no longer participate in any resource allocation within the sect. Sun Yan looked at Hong Lian with a serious expression. Red Lotus thought for a moment, then took out a golden wooden box from her bracelet and handed it to He Pingxing. This palace does indeed have a body-refining sacred item. This is a Buddhist relic. Moreover, it is a 4th grade Sarira. Take it. Sun Yan took the box, opened it, and saw a round golden pill inside. No, it wasn't exactly a golden pill. It was more accurate to call it a golden sphere about the size of a chicken egg. This sphere was the condensed life essence and blood left behind by a high-ranking Buddhist monk upon their nirvana, a golden core Sarira. A 4th grade Sarira. Red Lotus looked at He Pingxing and said, it was formed from the condensed Tao laws and immortal essence of a profound immortal-level Buddhist monk after their passing. This Sarira contains an immense amount of vital blood and chi energy. If you fuse it, it may allow your body refinement to advance another level. Take it. This palace only has this item left, and it might be useful to you. Yes. He Pingxing said gratefully, thank you, Grand Master. He stored away the 4th grade Sarira, though he felt a bit of regret in his heart. While this 4th grade Sarira was excellent, its grade was too high. It couldn't be strengthened using the treasure-gathering Immortal Basin. Chapter 1086 Drawing Lots 1 day. 2 days. 3 days. 3 days later, He Pingxing took out the treasure basin and placed it in front of him. There was only 1 golden relic, about the size of an egg, in the basin. There is nothing else besides that. He Pingxing sighed deeply, looking disappointed. As expected, there was no enhancement. The quality of the relic was still too high for He Pingxing, or for the treasure-gathering Immortal Basin. What should we do? He Pingxing put away the treasure basin, then plopped down on the futon, staring intently at the dome above the main hall. If you were to consume it now, it would be a relic that has not been strengthened or replicated. If one waits until their cultivation reaches the level of a celestial immortal, then this thing can indeed be strengthened. But how long and how many months will that take? Should we wait, or use it now? In the end, He Pingxing chose the latter. For him, improving his cultivation level is the most important thing right now. He felt that in order to survive on Yu Huang's star, or to have a good ability to protect himself and not have to depend on others, he needed to at least cultivate to the celestial immortal realm. Buzzing. With the relic placed before him, the 36 immortal runes within He Pingxing's body appeared almost simultaneously. The immortal runes activated, frantically absorbing the vital energy within the relic. Don't underestimate the small size of the relic. The vital energy it contains is extremely powerful, arguably more potent than the blood essence of 10,000 two-headed eagles. The surging power was absorbed by the 36 immortal runes and then accumulated within He Pingxing's body. With an abundant supply of qi and blood, He Pingxing's cultivation of the Chaos Golden Scripture seemed to have no upper limit, and his cultivation level was rapidly improving. 6 months later, his cultivation level improved again, from the 8th level of the human immortal stage to the 9th level. And he only consumed less than 1% of that relic. That's wonderful. He Pingxing was overjoyed to see the relic being consumed. In this way, at least for a period of time, there will be no need to worry about insufficient essence and blood. He Pingxing calmed his cultivation for a moment, then took out a jade slip and began to read it. The sect competition is just around the corner. It's time to learn about the rules of the competition. Soon, within the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, He Pingxing had a complete understanding of all aspects of the competition. First and foremost, the rules. During the grand competition, no external assistance is allowed. That's right, talismans, elixirs, immortal artifacts, and so on, none of them can be used. Secondly, if the opponent surrenders, you should not continue to kill them. However, killing someone before they surrender is not a crime. The competition uses an elimination system, and each participant's opponent will be determined by a draw in the first round. Then have a real fight. The winner stays. The loser is eliminated. The winner advances to the second round by drawing lots. After the second round, it's still a single elimination match. The winners stay, the losers are eliminated. This cycle repeats until the very last round. Then the top 10, the winners, will represent Red Lotus Immortal Valley in the competition organized by Great Kuan Immortal City. As for the rules of the competition in Da Kuan Immortal City, He Pingxing didn't know. However, if the number of participants is large, elimination is still the fastest method. As for the rewards, the top 3 winners receive very generous prizes. However, He Pingxing had no intention of entering the top 3, he only wanted to be in the top 10, so he didn't care much about the reward. There's no need to show off. Next, it's time to exit customs. After tidying up his things, He Pingxing walked out of his main hall. After leaving the main hall, the entire Xianxia garden was quiet. Su Huang was not in seclusion, but He Pingxing did not see him either. He Pingxing went to Xu Zhishan's dojo, but no one knew where that guy had gone. Finally, they went to find Su Muyu, but she wasn't there either. Never mind. Since none of you are here, I will go and pay my respects to my master. But as soon as they arrived outside Sun Yan's main hall, they heard a crackling sound coming from inside. He Pingxing. Fourth brother's here. Sun Yan looked up at He Pingxing. Come over here, you can walk the horse over there. He Pingxing steeled himself and walked over. Looking at the 4 heads around the table, which were covered by a bright light shield, He Pingxing felt for the first time that cultivating immortality was actually quite boring. Fourth brother, do you have any immortal crystals on you? Lend me 200 yuan first. Xu Zhishan looked at He Pingxing with a fawning expression. He Pingxing said, yes, I just received it. As he spoke, he took out 200 low-grade immortal crystals and gave them to Xu Zhishan. Master, senior brother, senior sister. After watching for a while, He Pingxing asked again, the competition is in a few days. Have you all drawn lots yet? A draw will be held before the competition. Draw your own number first. Then take the number to find your corresponding opponent. This is the first step. Sun Yan looked at Su Huang. Yeah, did you draw lots? I haven't. Su Huang thought for a moment and said, Master, I won't go and draw one. Anyway, with our fighting strength, we won't be able to make it into the top 10. If we go up there and get eliminated in the first round, we'll probably be laughed at. Yes, 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 my brother is right. Su Muyu threw down a card with a snap, then said, I'm not going either. I'm not being lazy, master. I'm doing this for the sake of Xianxia Garden's reputation. My dear reader, there's more to, even more exciting content awaits. Xu Zhishan said, if neither of you are going, then I won't go either. They thought Sun Yan would scold the 3 of them, but the old man actually nodded, good that you're not going. Cough cough cough, that. Fourth brother, in our Xianxia garden, you're the only son. You have to hold on. I don't expect you to make it into the top 100 of the sect, but at least don't lose too badly. We must survive at least 2 rounds. Go, go. Sun Yan waved her hand, her mind completely elsewhere than on her disciples' competition. He Pingxing walked out of his master's dojo with a speechless expression and a dark face. Looking at the leisurely white clouds outside Xianxia Garden, he couldn't help but sigh. Never mind. I'll just be myself. He Pingxing transformed into a streak of light and flew to Qianwu Garden. This sect competition was organized by Qianwu Garden, and the competition venue was naturally Qianwu Garden. There are a total of 22 gardens of various sizes throughout the entire Red Lotus Immortal Valley. Theoretically, each garden cannot have more than 10 participants, meaning the total number should be limited to 220. 220 people is not a lot in the entire Red Lotus Immortal Valley. After all, there are some courtyards with a large population, with several hundred people in one courtyard. There are even courtyards with thousands of people. Some gardens even hold an internal competition to compete for a spot in the tournament. Unlike He Pingxing's Xianxia garden, only he came in the end. Which garden are you from? What's your name? What's your cultivation level? In the main hall of Qianwu Garden, an elder in charge of drawing lots for the competition looked at He Pingxing. He Pingxing quickly signed up, saying, He Pingxing from Xianxia Garden, my cultivation level is the 9th level of the human immortal stage.
Oh.
The elder checked the names and said, there were 4 people who signed up for Xianxia Academy, why did only you come?
Where are the others?
Chapter 1087. Giving up the competition. Shuhaiji Net, my senior brother, senior sister, and the other 2 are still in seclusion researching a combined formation. There's no way to get out right now. So, Master sent me here to help them draw lots. Uncle Master, is this all right? He Pingxing looked at the Earth Immortal man in front of him with a sincere expression. There are only 4 people in Qianzheyuan. If 3 of them give up, who knows what kind of rumors will be spread. He Pingxing felt that it was better to not get a buy than to not draw lots at all. All right, the man smiled and said, go ahead and smoke. After saying that, he took out a large box. There are only 220 numbers in this box. You can just draw 4 at random. Of course, there aren't 220 left now. 80% of the disciples have already drawn their lots.
Yes.
He Pingxing respectfully stretched out his hand and casually took out 4 number plates. I glanced at them, 17, 31, 133, and 198. There are 4 license plates in total. Odd and even are paired. The Earth Immortal uncle said with a smile, for example, number 1's opponent is number 2, and number 3's opponent is number 4. If the opponent receives a bye, they will advance directly to the next round. Your opponent, number 17, is number 18. Do you understand? He Pingxing said, I understand. All right, the Earth Immortal said, go. The competition will begin in 3 days. The numbers will be called out on site. Let's start the competition with number 1.
Go.
Thank you, Uncle Master. He Pingxing bowed in thanks, then transformed into a stream of light and returned to his own dojo. With the competition starting in 3 days, He Pingxing had 4 numbers in his hand. Good. At least in the first round, I have 4 chances.
He.
Although I don't necessarily have to go up 4 times, I can choose a relatively easy one from the 4 times, right? After resting for 3 days in his own temple, He Pingxing went to his master Sun Yan's main hall again. As a result, the crackling sound continued to come from inside the hall. This time, He Pingxing learned his lesson. He didn't enter the main hall. He just shook his head and then transformed into a stream of light and flew into Qianwu Garden. The martial arts training ground at Qianwu Garden was bustling with people. Although theoretically there were 220 disciples participating in the competition, the number of people who came to watch the ceremony was far more than 1,000. The key point is that each garden was also divided into a specific area. All the other gardens were short of seats, but He Pingxing was all alone, sitting on the grounds belonging to Xianxia Garden. It looked particularly out of place. Many eyes also turned to He Pingxing. He Pingxing didn't care. He sat upright in his seat, his gaze fixed on the arena. A total of 10 arenas have been prepared this time. 220 disciples need to fight a total of 110 battles. On average, each arena has 11 matches, so the first round of matches is basically over in 1 day. In a nearby courtyard, Jing Lei, dressed in black, was squinting at He Pingxing. Because He Pingxing was still wearing a mask, the cultivation level he displayed was only at the 3rd level. Jing Lei's eyes narrowed. That's He Pingxing from Xianxia Garden. A female disciple beside Jing Lei said, when senior sister Lu returned from Chenkuan Immortal City, this was the boy who escorted her. I heard he's quite capable. Junior brother Jing Lei knows him. Jing Lei nodded and said, that's right. I know him. It's quite remarkable that he managed to evade 2 ambushes. I hope I don't run into him in this competition. Jing Lei always felt a strange fear of He Pingxing. TCH. The woman chuckled and said, a mere 3rd-level human immortal was able to survive 2 layers of attacks and come back alive, all thanks to senior sister Lu and the ancestor. Without them, He Pingxing would probably be dead long ago. Why are you afraid of him, junior brother? Jing Lei said, it's not that I'm afraid of him, it's just that I have some grudges with him, so it's best if we don't run into each other. He, the woman said, if I happen to encounter him, I'll kill him for you in 1 round. How about it? Jing Lei asked, senior sister, what's your badge number? The woman said, I'm number 6. And you, junior brother? Jing Lei said, my number is 134, and it's near the back. Perhaps I'm overthinking it, I probably won't run into him. Just then, Lu Xiaoxi, dressed in a black Taoist robe, suddenly descended from the void. The moment Lu Xiaoxi landed on the stage, the entire venue erupted in cheers. Countless people stood up and shouted Senior Sister Lu, Uncle Lu, and so on. Lu Xiaoxi's gaze swept around and landed on He Pingxing, then she smiled slightly. Everyone. She withdrew her gaze and looked at the crowd, saying, today's assembly should have been presided over by our ancestor herself, but since she is currently in seclusion and unable to attend, she has ordered me to preside over this competition for the human immortal stage disciples on her behalf. You need not worry, the ancestor will definitely be there in person for the awards ceremony later. Everyone should have seen the rules of the competition, but I still want to repeat them here. The most important point is that no external objects are allowed. If anyone uses pills, talismans, magical artifacts, etc., it will be considered a violation. Furthermore, if the enemy surrenders, you must not continue to kill them. My dear reader, there's more to, even more exciting content awaits. Thirdly, if you are killed in the arena without surrendering, you must not complain. I hereby declare the Wuchen Year Sect Grand Competition to begin. Thump, thump, thump. The sound of war drums, imbued with a sense of ceremony, could be heard. The war drums were beaten 9 times and then stopped. Finally, an elder with white hair and a white beard from the Martial Arts Academy stepped onto the stage and said, the competition will now begin. Arena number 1, disciple number 1 and disciple number 2, please step forward. He Pingxing then saw 2 disciples emerge from the crowd. 1 man and 1 woman. The men came from Qianlei Garden, while the women came from Wubao Garden. He had never heard of these 2 people. Although they were ranked 1st and 2nd, neither of them were considered exceptional talents. Second arena, disciples number 3 and 4, please step forward. The third arena, disciples number 5 and 6. The fourth arena. For every name called by the elders of Qianwu Garden, 2 people would step forward. When the call reached the 9th arena, only 1 person stepped forward. Disciples number 17 and 18, where are they? An elder from Qianwu Garden asked. Why is there only 1? Number 17 is in He Pingxing's hands. Number 18 is a prodigy from Qianwu Academy, and he is ranked in the top 5. He Pingxing definitely won't go. After all, if he defeats the top 5 in the first round, he will soon be in the spotlight. After the elder called several times, He Pingxing finally stood up and said, reporting to the elder, number 17 has forfeited the competition. Chapter 1088. You're not that perverted, are you? Debt repayment +3. No way. They surrendered just like that. This, only 1 person came to Qianzhe Garden, and they even gave up in the first round. Everyone scoffed at it. A smile appeared on Jing Lei's face as he said, thank goodness, this guy gave up. TCH. The woman next to Jing Lei said, junior brother, Zhongzhixian is ranked 5th in the entire inner sect. If He Pingxing isn't an idiot, he will definitely give up. Is this even a fight worth fighting? Junior brother, you must be pragmatic when the time comes. If you encounter a formidable opponent, you must know when to give up. The purpose of the inner sect competition is to select the top 10 to go to Xianxia Immortal City to continue the competition. We're just here to join in the fun. Just wait and see. In the end, these spots will still fall into the hands of the top 10 disciples on the inner sect ranking. He Pingxing gave up, and Zhong Zixian won. Next, we will continue the selection process. Once all 10 arenas were occupied, the competition began. The matches were quick. Each match on the arena lasted no more than the time it takes for an incense stick to burn, and some even ended in half an incense stick's time. Some did admit defeat, but not many. Soon, the 10 people in the first round were eliminated, and the 10 people successfully advanced to the next round. Let's continue the game. The elders of Qianwu Garden returned to the arena and announced, numbers 11 and 12 are on the first arena. On the second arena, numbers 13 and 14. All right, I won't read them out one by one. Just proceed to your respective arenas. He Pingxing looked at the sign in his hand. He still has 3 cards left, number 31, number 133, and number 198. If you calculate it that way, it's him again this time. Number 31 should be in the 6th arena. When he Pingxing glanced at it, he almost vomited blood. There was already someone standing next to ring number 6. He also knew this person, Chen Dao Dao Ren. When we first went to Xianxia Immortal City, this guy lived next door to He Pingxing and often made those indescribable noises. Later, when the ship was attacked, this guy actually survived. More importantly, this guy's cultivation has reached the 12th level of the human immortal stage, and he is ranked in the teens within the sect. He Pingxing tries his best not to provoke people like that. Never mind. I'm not going. Give up. But this time he did not step forward. After all, these license plates are anonymous. If you don't step forward, you'll avoid being ridiculed. As expected, after number 31 went unclaimed, it was decided that Qian Dao would receive a bye and advance to the next round. Lu Xiaozi suddenly appeared beside He Pingxing without anyone noticing. She smiled slightly. She was beautiful. He Pingxing stood up, cupped his hands in greeting, and said half-jokingly, I wonder if I should call you Senior Sister Lu or Martial Uncle Lu now. Forget it. Lu Xiaozi sat down next to He Pingxing and said, stop standing there, sit down and let's talk. He Pingxing also sat down. I heard from my master that you've been cultivating quite fast. In less than 100 years, you've already advanced from the 5th level of the human immortal stage to the 8th level. Lu Xiaozi tilted her head and stared at He Pingxing. He Pingxing said, yes. However, I'm not cultivating my dantian, I'm refining my body. Perhaps body refining will take shape much faster. No. Lu Xiaozi shook her head and said, as far as I know, the process of body refinement takes even longer. Let's not talk about that. But, I remember when we went to Xianxia Immortal City together before, you were only at level 3. How come everyone says you were at level 5 back then? Lu Xiaozi's beautiful eyes were fixed on He Pingxing, so close, her fragrance as delicate as orchids. He Pingxing remained calm and said, I concealed my cultivation level back then, so you didn't know, but the ancestor did. Oh! Lu Xiaozi exclaimed, Junior brother, he is really interesting. Why did you give up just now? As far as I know, although Zhong Zixian is powerful, with his abilities, he probably can't hurt you. Fighting him would also increase my combat experience, wouldn't it? He Pingxing smiled and said, Senior sister, you misunderstand. It's not that I'm giving up. This is senior brother's token. I gave it up for him. Look. He threw out 4 signs. Phut. Lu Xiaozi couldn't help but burst out laughing when she saw the 4 signs, and asked, which one is your sign? He Pingxing said, I don't know either. We'll see when the time comes. We'll pick a weaker opponent to fight. The two chatted and laughed, naturally attracting a lot of attention and comments. After all, Lu Xiaozi is currently the biggest topic of conversation in Red Lotus Immortal Valley. Not only was she exceptionally talented, becoming the ancestor's disciple, but she also reached the Earth Immortal realm and earned a place on the solid Tao Heavenly Steely list of Xianxia Immortal City. The combination of her various identities imbued her status and reputation with a layer of mystery. I just checked. When junior brother registered, his cultivation level was the 9th level of the human immortal stage. Lu Xiaozi stared at He Pingxing again. You didn't break through another level in the past 6 months, did you? He Pingxing smiled wryly. Yes, didn't the ancestor give me a relic? I absorbed the vital energy from the relic, and that's how I broke through 1 level. You really are a freak. Lu Xiaozi said, I now seriously suspect that the Kunwu Mountain Jade Fairy who was ranked number 1 back then was actually you in disguise. My dear reader, there's more to, even more exciting content awaits. But you probably wouldn't be so perverted as to think of dressing up as a woman. He Pingxing. Thanks to you back then, if it weren't for you, I, Lu Xiaozi, would have died countless times already. Lu Xiaozi changed the subject. So, if you ever lack resources in your cultivation in the future, you can come to me. I will do everything in my power to help you. Here are 100,000 spirit stones, I owe you. Also, there's a body fruit here, a 2nd grade one. Swallowing it will allow you to break through the bottleneck of the human immortal stage. You can use it when your cultivation reaches the 11th level of the human immortal stage. Lu Xiaozi took out a Qianquan bag and handed it to He Pingxing. He Pingxing accepted it without hesitation. Thank you, senior sister Lu. Oh, right. Lu Xiaozi added, you asked me last time whether consuming these rare and precious materials for breaking through bottlenecks would affect one's own cultivation techniques. I asked my master about this matter and consulted the sect's records, and I have basically gotten the answer. You're right. Using these rare and precious materials to break through bottlenecks for a long time will indeed cause problems. Lu Xiaozi looked at He Pingxing. It will leave hidden injuries on one's Tao route. But this refers to those who have reached the Golden Immortal realm. Before the Golden Immortal stage, there are 4 stages: Human Immortal, Earth Immortal, Celestial Immortal, and Profound Immortal. Immortals cannot comprehend the great Tao at this stage. The only thing among these rare and precious materials used to break through the bottleneck is Immortal Essence, which does not involve Tao techniques. Therefore, it has no effect on the Immortal's own Tao techniques. You can eat without worry now that you're back. Lu Xiaozi provided the answer. Chapter 1089 Instant Kill Thunderclap Debt Repayment +4 After Lu Xiaozi left, He Pingxing continued to watch the fight on the ring with a bored expression. In the first 100 numbers, there were about 50 fights, and a total of 4 people died. Not many. But that's not a small amount either. After all, every inner disciple is extremely precious. This arena is similar to the one He Pingxing used in Qianquan Immortal City. From the outside, each arena appears to be only 10 zhong in diameter, but once inside, you'll find that the space is much larger. As for how much bigger, He Pingxing didn't know. He never went inside. All right. Now let's move on to the next group. The elder of the Martial Arts Academy once again stepped onto the platform. Numbers 131 and 132 enter the first arena. The 133rd and 134th enter the second arena. He Pingxing looked at the signs in his hand. 133, 198. In other words, it's his turn again. Should we go for it? No rush. Let's take a look at our opponents first. After about 2 breaths, a faint smile appeared on He Pingxing's face. Hey, it's actually this guy? Beside the second arena stood a tall, young male disciple, Jing Lei. It was thunder. What a small world. He Pingxing smiled, then stood up and slowly walked to the opposite side of Jing Lei. Seeing He Pingxing approach, Jing Lei was so frightened that he looked like a dog with its tail between its legs. He said, "Impossible. He Pingxing, you had already given up the competition, so why are you still able to come up?" "Elder, Your Excellency, this person is cheating," he shouted and pointed at He Pingxing. Jing Lei really didn't want to face off against He Pingxing. Swish. Thousands of eyes were fixed on He Pingxing and Jing Lei. That day, the elders of the martial arts academy also approached the two of them. What happened? The elder asked Jing Lei. Jing Lei pointed at He Pingxing and said, "This guy's name is He Pingxing. He already gave up during the second round of the competition. Why is he back?" The elder then asked He Pingxing, "What happened?" He Pingxing said, reporting to the elder, "My senior brother and senior sister are 4 people, and there are 4 tokens in total. The one that was given up earlier was my senior sister's token, not my, He Pingxing's, qualification. Number 133 is my license plate number." As he spoke, He Pingxing took out all 4 number plates. "My senior sister and my senior brother are practicing a very special formation and can't come, so they asked me to help them give up the competition and get a bye." "That's how it is." Said the elder of Qianwu Garden. "That's no problem. You're He Pingxing, right? Let me see." The elder picked up a jade slip and looked at it for a while, then said, "Oh, the record here is correct, number 133, which is indeed the number of your Qianzi garden, but there is one thing wrong." Jing Lei got excited. "Wait a minute. Great, I'll use this to my advantage and prevent him from participating in the competition." "Elder, what's wrong?" Jing Lei quickly came over and asked. The elder of Qianwu Garden said, "This record shows that He Pingxing was at the 9th level of the human immortal stage. How come you are only at the 3rd level now?" This scene left Jing Lei completely bewildered. "What's going on? I understand. Elder, this 9th floor fellow must not be He Pingxing, but his senior brother, so he must have received a bye in this competition." However, He Pingxing did not refute. He simply took off the bronze mask from his face and put it into the ring, revealing his aura. Holy crap! When Jing Lei saw He Pingxing's cultivation level, he was truly terrified. How many years has it been? It has only been less than 500 years since this guy ascended to heaven. In less than 500 years, he went directly from the 1st level of the human immortal stage to the 9th level of the human immortal stage. This. Hiss. Absolutely unique. This is the fastest speed ever seen in the inner sect of Red Lotus Immortal Valley. This bastard must possess some unparalleled cultivation technique. No. I can't fight him. We must surrender. But if we surrender now, we'll just become a laughingstock. Well, after entering the arena, I barely managed to put on my strongest defense and exchange a few blows with him before surrendering. In this way, He Pingxing's punch landed on cotton, and I can save my life. As for what to do next, there was no other way but to see if I could get some good stuff to buy my life from He Pingxing. Jing Lei had made up his mind. Phew. He took a deep breath and said, "No problem." "All right," said the elder of Qianwu Garden. "Since there are no problems, let's go in." He Pingxing and Jing Lei each stepped into the arena. The space inside the arena isn't very large, only about 1,000 feet. Compared to the arena in the City Lord's mansion of Qianquan Immortal City, there is still a considerable gap. Along with He Pingxing and Jing Lei, an elder from Qianwu Garden with the cultivation level of an Earth Immortal also entered. This elder was quite old. He entered the arena purely to watch the match and determine the winner. I'd say he's a referee. 5 moves. He Pingxing stretched out his right hand and said, "Jing Lei, if you don't surrender within 5 moves, you will surely die." Jing Lei sneered, "5 moves? Who do you think you are? I'll surrender as soon as I get past the first move, okay?" Ahem. The elder watching the match coughed twice and said, "You all know the rules, you can begin." My dear reader, there's more to, even more exciting content awaits. Swoosh. As soon as the elder finished speaking, He Pingxing suddenly moved his feet, instantly bursting out with 5 times the speed, and rushed towards the direction of Jing Lei. The speed was so fast that Jing Lei was caught off guard. "Damn it, you ambushed me." Jing Lei had no time to defend himself or use any magic. In his haste, he could only throw a punch in the direction He Pingxing was attacking. What a coincidence. He Pingxing also threw a punch. Before the 2 fists even made contact, a tremendous aura swept outwards. He Pingxing's fist turned golden and slammed into Jing Lei's fist. Puff. The next moment, Jing Lei's fist turned into a bloody mess. He Pingxing's fist still had plenty of force left, and it continued to destroy his arm. I'll throw. Puff. Before Jing Lei could utter the last word descend, He Pingxing's fist landed on his chest. An immense force, carrying profound immortal energy, crashed into Jing Lei's body. His body was torn into dozens of pieces in an instant. A shower of blood fell on the surrounding land. One strike, and he was annihilated. He Pingxing stopped and turned to look at the referee beside him. The elder, a mere earth immortal, stared wide-eyed at He Pingxing in utter disbelief, exclaiming, You won. The elder originally wanted to say, They've already surrendered, why are you still attacking? But then he thought again, and realized that Jing Lei's surrender hadn't actually been spoken. Besides, in that situation, surrendering wouldn't have made a difference, because it would have been too late. The enemy wouldn't have had time to withdraw their forces. Chapter 1090 You don't last long. He Pingxing also wanted to kill Jing Lei slowly and deliberately, so as not to attract anyone's attention. The problem is, he's afraid. I'm afraid I'll suddenly surrender in the face of thunder. Then we can't kill him. Therefore, in order to kill this nemesis in a fair and square manner, he spared no expense and used the shadowless immortal technique and all his blood and chi power to completely obliterate Jing Lei with a single punch. The entire venue suddenly fell silent. Everyone looked on incredulously. It took a dozen or so breaths before everyone came to their senses. Holy crap, they killed him already. Is this the fastest record? 9 floors fighting 9 floors, is he that weak? He even got killed with one punch. Yeah, this guy is so bad, what's his name? It seems to be called Thunderclap. Oh, I've heard of him. So it's him. I heard this guy used to run rampant in the outer sect. He's probably been in the outer sect for too long and doesn't know the strength of the inner sect. I understand. You mean it's not that He Pingxing is strong, it's that Jing Lei is too weak. He Pingxing should be quite strong, but I'm afraid Jing Lei is too weak. Discussions arose. He Pingxing, however, returned to his seat with a calm expression. He Pingxing. From a distant camp, a woman dressed in black stood up and shouted at He Pingxing, Why did you kill my junior brother? It's just a competition, why are you so heartless? He Pingxing cupped his hands in apology to the woman. I'm sorry, senior sister, I was scared, so I used my full strength in the first move. I didn't expect your junior brother to be so weak, and he was actually killed by me. Sigh. If I had known he was so weak, I wouldn't have used my full strength. After saying that, He Pingxing sat back down in his seat. Although the woman hated He Pingxing intensely, she had no reason to cause him any trouble at this moment. After all, the thunder was too weak. He killed him in one move. Moreover, they couldn't find any flaws in He Pingxing's actions. The woman could only sit down angrily. Soon, after most of the day had passed, the first round of the competition came to an end. The first round of competition is over. In the first round of competition, 110 people will be eliminated, and 110 people will advance. The winner, please proceed to the main hall of Qianwu Garden to draw a new number and determine your opponent. Prepare for the second round of the competition. No breaks in between. Splash. 110 people walked in a grand procession to the hall to draw lots. He Pingxing handed over his number 133 card and drew another one. New designation, number 88. This license plate number is good, very auspicious. Soon, everyone drew their number plates and returned to the arena. Everyone. The elder of Qianwu Garden said to the crowd, The numbers are random, the opponents you encounter are random, and the order in which you are picked is also random. I believe that a strong person will defeat their opponent no matter what the circumstances, so don't tell me that the immortal energy in your dantian hasn't been restored yet. It's your problem if it doesn't recover. And don't tell me you just finished the first round and haven't had a chance to rest yet. Bad luck is your problem, it has nothing to do with me. Alright, let's begin round 2. Similarly, there will be 10 arenas, with each round lasting 20 days.
He Pingsheng nodded. The elder is probably right.
Not taking a break in between won't have a significant impact on the combat effectiveness of the disciples in each academy, since they've only fought one battle before. For most people, there is enough time to recover their immortal energy after a battle. Unless it's a case where the player is placed in the last match of the first round and then in the first match of the second round, with insufficient recovery time in between. There's nothing we can do about it then, you're just unlucky. Soon, the competition among the first 20 disciples came to an end. No one died this time. Then it's from 21 to 40, from 41 to 60, from 61 to 80. The outcome is gradually becoming clear. He Pingsheng looked at the list in his hand. The combat power of the disciples ranked at the top of the list was indeed not to be underestimated. This is the ranking of inner disciples at the human immortal stage of Red Lotus Immortal Valley. Previously, Lu Xiaozi was ranked first. Although Lu Xiaozi has now entered the Earth Immortal stage, her name is still on this ranking list. Soon, it was He Pingsheng's turn. Numbers 81st to 100th, take the stage in order, the elder of Qianwu Garden shouted. He Pingsheng had no choice at this point, he had to go on stage, so there was no need to be cautious about his opponent. He leaped and landed next to the fourth ring. Hey! Damn it, it's you, kid. Looks like we're really destined to meet. A fat, big-eared guy stared at He Pingsheng with a faint smile on his face. He had a large golden sword slung over his shoulder. It was the same person we had encountered on the large ship before, the Heavenly Blade Taoist. So it's senior brother Chen Dao. How have you been? He Pingsheng greeted Chen Dao with a calm expression. Chen Dao laughed and said, You brat, good, it's good that you're alive. Let's go inside and talk. The two entered the formation of the arena, and another elder followed them in. This elder is responsible for refereeing and recording the wins and losses. Hehehe. Chen Dao looked at He Pingsheng and chuckled. He Pingsheng, don't fight yet, I want to say a few words to you. I know you like to ambush people. He Pingsheng said, Please speak, senior brother. Chen Dao asked, Do you know where I'm ranked? He Pingsheng said, I know that. Senior brother was originally ranked 14th, but now that senior sister Lu Xiaozi has entered the Earth Immortal realm, your combat power should be ranked 13th. Good to know. Chen Dao said smugly, Actually, I could have entered the Earth Immortal realm a long time ago. The reason I didn't break through was to wait for the sect competition and see if I could get a ranking in the Qianquan Immortal City. Got it. You can't beat me. You can surrender now. Also, I saw your fight with Jing Lei just now. You were really awesome, you killed Jing Lei with one punch. But that's because your opponents are too weak. Jing Lei can't even get into the top 500 in the entire inner sect. The reason he was able to participate in this competition is because there was no one left in their Pingan garden. Do you understand? He Pingsheng said, I understand. If you understand, then you'd better surrender quickly, otherwise I'm really afraid I'll kill you with one move. Chen Dao chuckled and continued to chat with He Pingsheng while carrying his golden sword. He Pingsheng shook his head, No. Not surrendering. Heavenly Blade said, Why? You definitely can't beat me, my immortal techniques are truly powerful. He Pingsheng smiled and said, Senior brother Chen Dao is ranked 13th in the sect, so he is naturally very powerful, but I think your stamina may not be as good as mine. Chen Dao's eyes narrowed slightly. What do you mean? He Pingsheng said, It means, you don't last long. Thank you for listening to PandaAudioBooks. If you love what you hear and want to support my work, check out the PayPal link in the description, every bit helps. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notifications bell to stay updated with all our latest audiobook chapters. We'll see you in the next one.